this way.
Which way is that?
Why, over there, beside that tree.
You ought to set to starboard then, Alice.
It looks like a fine spot to me.
You really must say what you mean.
I did. And besides, I pointed.
That would be fine if they were paying attention. All in the golden afternoon, full leisure we glide. For both our oars, with little skill, by little arms are plied, while little hands make vain pretense our wanderings to guide.
Not like that, silly.
Oh, drat.
Easy now. There. All right. Steady.
You will tell us another story?
Ah, cruel three. In such an hour, beneath such dreamy weather, to beg a tale of breath, too weak to stir the tiniest feather. Yet what can one poor voice avail against 3 tongues together?
Oh, please. You must tell us one at once.
Well, perhaps, in a little while.
Oh.
Imperious Prima flashes forth her edict to begin it. In gentler tones, Secunda hopes there will be nonsense in it, while Tertia interrupts the tale not more than once a minute.
I'm going to read my book.
Go right ahead, then.
And I shall sit right here and have a nice rest. Oh.
Susanna had been indifferent about going to the dance until she realized that if she did not, she was going to be left at home.
Seems like a pretty silly book to me.
Then she changed her mind, of course. We shall...
Besides, what is the use of a book without pictures or conversations? I'd rather do needlepoint, or perhaps make a daisy chain. Only I'd have to get up in order to pick the daisies. Is that allowed, I wonder?
Oh, dear! Oh, dear!
Perhaps I should ask that rabbit.
I shall be late, I'm sure of it. No!
Excuse me?
No time now. I must hurry.
But he actually has a watch. Wait! There he goes. No, don't just disappear into that hole. Oh, how will I ever squeeze in there? Oh, it's not so small, is it? Now, which way did he go? Oh, I'm falling. But look, there's the rabbit. Hello down there. Hello. Wait.
Here's a whisker, I'm late. I'm late.
Don't just leave me falling like this. Yes, well, what's truly odd is that I am still falling. After a fall like this, I shall think nothing of tumbling downstairs. Well, I wouldn't say a thing about it, even if I fell off the top of the house. But those are cupboards and shelves. I wonder what this is. Orange marmalade. Oh, it's empty. I mustn't drop it, though. I might hurt someone. There. And bookshelves. He must be a serious rabbit. I wonder how many miles I've fallen. I must be getting near the center of the earth. Perhaps I shall fall right through. How funny it will seem to come out among the people who walk with their heads downwards. The antipathies, I think, or something like that. I wonder if there are bats in here. Oh, Dinah, I wish you were down here with me. I hope they remember your saucer of milk at tea time. Do cats eat bats? Do bats eat cats? Oh.
Oh, the Duchess will be savage if I've kept her waiting.
But, Rabbit, wait, you dropped your fan. And your gloves. I'll bring them. Now, where did he go? He must have gone through this door. No, it's locked. So is this one. But where can he have gone? I mustn't go far, or the others will never find me. This one must be. No, I'll bet they won't even notice I've gone. I'm sure Dinah will miss me. Perhaps this tiny little one. Oh, look at that. What a lovely garden. I'll never fit through there. Oh, almost. But even if my head would go through, it would be very little use without my shoulders. That must be where the rabbit went. It's a pity I can't close up like a little fan. Although perhaps I could, if I just knew how to begin. But what's this? This bottle wasn't here before. Drink me? Oh, no. Not on your life. Although, perhaps... No. You can't go picking up bottles and drinking what's in them simply because they say so. Well, it doesn't say it's poison after all. It would have to say that, wouldn't it? I'm sure it would. Not bad at all. A bit like chamomile. Or is it lincolnberry? Well, there we are then. Too bad there isn't a bit of cake to go with it. I don't suppose I'll be getting back by tea time. Oh, what a curious feeling. It feels as though I'm shrinking up, like a telescope. But when will it stop? How strange. It did stop, as soon as I said it. Curious that. I shall be able to follow the white rabbit now. He must have gone through the little door. But where was that? It doesn't seem like the same place at all, now that I'm 1 foot tall. Or is it 2? I wonder. Let's see now. I think it's over here. No? Perhaps around this way? No. Oh, darn. I'm not supposed to say that, am I? I suppose it doesn't matter what I say anymore. There doesn't seem to be anyone here to listen. Then I'll never find that little door again. Or the garden. Come. There's no use in crying like that, either. I advise you to leave it off this minute. And it's no use now to pretend to be 2 people. Why, there's hardly enough left of me to make 1 respectable person. In fact, I'm no longer me at all, am I? Well, I'm not Ada, for her hair is in ringlets and mine is still straight. And thank heavens I'm not Mabel, for I still know all sorts of things, and Mabel is as dumb as a post. Besides, she's... And I'm... Oh, dear, how puzzling it all is. What's this? It looks like a bit of tea cake after all. Do you suppose I did that simply by wishing for it? And what's this? Eat me. Such strange writing. It can't very well be poison, though, can it? If it makes me larger, I shall be able to find the little door again, and then... I shall have to shrink again to go through. Oh, bother. It tastes good, too. Oh, that's it. I'm growing. Goodbye, feet. I'll send you some socks at Christmas. I'll have to mail early, though. To Alice's right foot, Esquire. Hearthrug by fireplace with Alice's love. Oh, dear, what nonsense I'm talking.
Oh, the Duchess! The Duchess! Oh!
Huh? There he is. Oh!
Won't she be savage if I've kept her waiting?
If you please, sir.
Oh!
You dropped your fan.
No time now. I'm late.
And your gloves. There's the door. But I'm much too big again. I hope the Duchess doesn't mind he's not wearing his gloves. Perhaps he'll come back for them. I'll just lie down here and wait. How very queer everything is today. And yet, I think I am still me. Am I not? I can't have become Mabel. And yet, let's see, the capital of London is Paris. And Paris is the capital of Rome. No, that's all wrong. I know. I'll try and recite, "How doth the little..." Mabel could never do that. How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale? I'm sure those are not the right words. Oh. I must be Mabel after all. And I shall have to go and live in that poky little house and have next to no toys to play with. What's this? The rabbit's glove fits me now. I must be growing smaller again. Oh, how can that be? And what if I don't stop? Whoever I am, I shall disappear. And I simply must get into that garden. Oh, the fan. Where can it have gotten to? And where did all this water come from? Ooh, it's salty. Why, it's tears. I wish I hadn't cried so much. It's really deep. Oh. Now, where's that little door? It must be underwater now. Perhaps this mouse will know.
Oh, Mouse, do you know the way out of this pool? I'm tired of swimming.
He must be a French mouse.
Pardon, monsieur. Où est ma chatte?
Cat? Ici? Oh, no!
Oh, I beg your pardon. It's the only French I know. I forgot you didn't like cats.
I don't like cats. Huh? Would you, if you were me?
Probably not. You wouldn't feel that way if you met Dinah. I think you'd take a fancy to cats if you met her.
No, thank you, mademoiselle. Not on your life.
Oh, please don't go. We won't talk about her anymore if you'd rather not.
We? What do you mean, we, mademoiselle? I wasn't talking about her, was I?
Well, no. I guess not.
I was just doing a few laps, minding my own business. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm getting out.
Don't leave. I want to talk to you.
A favor? I suspected as much.
I didn't mean it like that.
I've had enough of this in any case. Good day to you.
But won't you at least tell me what day it is? Oh, what a fine tail you have.
My tale is a long and a very sad one indeed. Perhaps you'd like to hear it someday.
Oh, I would. Though I don't know when that will be.
Don't you know the day or the time? Do you know nothing at all?
I used to, I think. Only now I'm not so sure.
Well, that's progress, isn't it? Silly thing.
You'd show more respect if I had Dinah with me.
Dinah?
My cat, of course.
Morbleu! I really must be getting home. You head up to the house, missy, if you know what's good for you.
What's good for me? I'd like a nice cup of tea or something like that. Excuse me. Excuse me. No? I think they simply don't want to hear me. Oh, well. Hello? Hello? Looks a bit like Maple's house, only smaller. I wonder who... Oh, is someone there? The wind couldn't have done that. Look at that! A fan! And another pair of gloves. Do you suppose if I put them on, they will make me grow smaller? Or larger? Oh, look out, ceiling. I'd better take them off before I fill up the entire house. Oh, now what? I don't think I can get out the door anymore. Nope. Oh, you foolish Alice, how can you learn your lessons in here? Why, there's hardly room for you and none at all for lesson books.
Marianne! Marianne!
It sounds like that rabbit again. But who is he talking to? Hello?
Fetch me my gloves and fan this minute.
I can't. I'm stuck.
Why, of all the nonsense.
Whoa, Marianne!
How did you get so large?
Ah, my name is not Mary Ann, it's Alice. And don't go poking me like that, please.
All right. Alice. And where, pray, are my white gloves?
They're here, but I'll be darned if I can get at them now.
Then I'll go round and get in at the window.
Oh, no, you won't.
Whoa, look out, Your Honor.
What was that?
It looks like an arm, only larger.
An arm? Bill, you silly goose. Whoever saw an arm that size? Why, it fills the entire window.
Sure it does, Your Honor, and I don't like it one bit.
Bring some oil. We must burn the house down.
What? If you do that, I'll set Dinah at you.
Did you hear that, Your Honor? What'll it be?
We'll try these pebbles. Bring a barrowful.
Right, Your Honor.
If they had any sense, they'd take the roof
Aim
off.
for the window.
You'd better stop throwing stones as well.
Good.
But what's that buzzing? Why, it's coming from those pebbles. I do believe they are turning into honey cakes. If I eat one of these, it's sure to make me change size. It can't make me larger or I'll burst the house apart. It's working. I mustn't eat too much or... There.
Look there.
Oh,
She's getting away, Your Honor.
let her go. I'm late enough as it is.
The first thing I've got to do is to grow to my right size again. Then I'm going to find my way into that lovely garden. Oh. Oh, I didn't see him there. What a dear puppy he was, too. Lucky he just wanted to play. He could as easily have had me for lunch. I must be more careful in the future. I should have liked teaching him tricks very much, if only I'd been the right size. I almost forgot that I'm smaller than a chipmunk. Why, a passing bird could pick me up and... Oh, my. What's this? Excuse me, sir, but who are you?
Depends on when you ask.
I don't know when it is, so I guess I can't say. You look like a caterpillar even sitting up there on that toadstool.
Cat will do. How about you?
I hardly know, sir, just at present. I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have changed several times since then.
That don't make a lot of sense if you ask me.
Well, perhaps you don't think so now, but when you have to turn into a butterfly or a moth, I should think you'll feel a little strange, won't you?
Not a bit.
It feels strange to me.
You are. So, who are you?
Oh, I'm leaving.
Wait, I've got something important to say. Keep your temper.
Is that all?
Yeah. No. So, you think you changed, do you?
I'm afraid I am, sir. I can't remember things as I used to.
Can't remember what things.
I tried to recite some verse, but it came out all wrong.
Repeat. You are old, Father William.
You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white, and yet you incessantly stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right?
In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it might injure the brain, but now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, why, I'd do it again and again.
You are old, said the youth, as I mentioned before, and have grown most uncommonly fat. Yet you turned a back somersault in at the door. Pray, what is the reason of that?
In my youth, said the sage, as he shook his gray locks, I kept all my limbs very supple. By the use of this ointment, 1 shilling the box. Allow me to sell you a couple.
You are old, said the youth, and your jaws are too weak for anything tougher than suet. Yet you finished the goose with the bones and the beak. pray, how did you manage to do it?
In my youth, said his father, I took to the law and argued each case with my wife, and the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life.
You are old, said the youth. One would hardly suppose that your eye was as steady as ever, yet you balanced a needle on the end of your nose. What made you so awfully clever?
I have answered 3 questions, and that is enough, said his father. Don't give yourself airs. Do you think I can listen all day to such stuff? Be off, or I'll kick you downstairs.
You see, that was not said right.
Right. So what are you going to do?
First, I want to find my way into the garden. Then I want to grow to my right size again. Or grow to my...
What size you want to be?
Well, I should like to be a little larger. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be.
I think it's a good height to be.
Indeed, it becomes you, but I'm not used to it. I wish the creatures wouldn't be so easily offended.
You'll get used to it in time. One side will make you grow taller and the other shorter.
One side of what? The other side of what?
Of the mushroom, of course.
But which side is which? I guess I'll just have to try a little of each. Now, let's see. I'll put this in my left pocket and this... Oh, this will never do.
Now that's tiny. That's the way. So long.
That's way too much. Why, I'll be able to see over the treetops.
Oh, hey! Shout heads up next time.
Sorry to intrude, Pigeon. I'll get it right soon. No, just the littlest bit this time. There. Perfect. Too big to be a dog's lunch, yet small enough to manage that little door. If only I can find it. Perhaps someone in here will help me. Sounds like they're home anyway.
There's no sort of use in knocking, Missy.
Oh. Who are you?
Footman to the Duchess and proud to serve, am I.
Then perhaps you might tell me how I am to get in.
Are you to get in at all? That's the first question now, isn't it?
No doubt it is. It's dreadful the way the creatures argue. It's enough to drive one crazy.
I shall just sit here for days and days.
But what am I to do?
Anything you like, Missy.
Can't get anything today, can you?
Is anyone home?
Missed me again. That's a stupid question. Unless you are deaf. We're in the kitchen. Ah, you missed me.
Thank you. I'm coming. Hello, Puss. Nice kitty.
Be still, child.
Want it very hotter? We'll take care of that.
There's too much pepper in that soup.
The Duchess wants a hot pot. How about a flying pan?
Oh, missed again.
Please, mind what you're doing. You almost took off its precious nose. The dear, sweet baby.
If everybody minded their own business, the world would go round a deal faster than it does.
But that would be dreadful. Just think of the trouble it would make with the day and night.
Trouble? What can you possibly mean, silly twit?
Why, the Earth turns on its axis once every 24...
And speaking of axes, chop off her head!
At least I think it's every 24 hours, or is it 12? I simply can't get anything right today.
Don't ask me. I never could abide figures. Speak roughly to your little boy and beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases. Wow, wow, wow.
For the Duchess, an invitation from the Queen to play croquet.
As I live and breathe. Well then, young lady, you may nurse the child for a bit if you like. I must go and get ready to play croquet with the Queen. Here, cat.
Oh, there now. Please, Mum, before you go, would you tell me why your cat grins like that?
What? Because it's a Cheshire cat, is why.
Meow. I didn't know that Cheshire cats always grinned. In fact, I didn't know cats could grin at all.
Well, that's not much of a fact, is it? Of course they can, and most of them do.
I don't know of any that do.
You don't know much, young lady, and that's a fact.
I suspect we'll all feel a lot better when we get out of range of that pepper. Won't we now? And you mustn't snort. People will call you names.
Good day to you then, Missy.
Good day to you. If indeed it is a day at all anymore. I really haven't the foggiest idea. But I suppose I had better take you with me, precious child. It would be murder to leave you behind. Now I told you. My, what a snout you have. People will be calling you names at that. What a little thing. What am I going to do with this creature when I get it home? Oh, my. Would you believe it? My dear thing, if you are going to turn into a pig, I'll have nothing more to do with you. There you are. Go on, run along. It would have made a dreadfully ugly child in any case, but it makes a rather handsome pig. I know some children who would do quite well as pigs, in fact. If only one knew the right way to change them. Oh. Hello, Puss. Meow. Decided you'd climb a tree, did you? I'm not surprised. If I lived here, I think I'd go mad.
Oh, you mean you're not alive?
Well, of course I am. Only I am not living here.
Oh, then you must be mad. You said as much yourself.
But I mean, I just came here. I don't really...
Well, everyone here is crazy. Where were you going if you weren't coming here?
I was looking for the garden. It looked ever so nice.
Ah, the garden. Do you play croquet with the Queen today?
No. I mean, well, I don't know. When will that be?
Later. Much later. And until then?
I don't know that either, I'm afraid.
You sound plenty mad to me. Why don't you find a quiet place to have a cup of tea? Then perhaps you will make up your mind.
That sounds like an excellent idea. But where?
In that direction lives a hatter. And in that direction lives a March hare. Visit either you like. They're both mad.
I see. Well, I guess I shall do that.
I shall see you at the Queen's croquet then.
I'm not certain. I haven't been invited yet. He disappeared. Everyone here may be mad, but they certainly don't linger, do they? The March hare will be much the most interesting. And perhaps, as this is May, it won't be raving mad. At least not so mad as it was in March.
By the by, what became of the baby?
Oh, hello. It turned into a pig.
Ah, I thought it would.
And I wish you wouldn't keep appearing and vanishing so suddenly.
All right.
And take your grin with you. Well, I've often seen a cat without a grin, but a grin without a cat. It's the most curious thing I ever saw in all my life.
I've got one. I've got one.
Do it then, yes.
What's this? Quack.
That's easy. It's a duck.
Ah, yes.
A Mad Hatter and a March hare. Visit either you like, the Cheshire Cat said.
Nor did I say.
Oops. This looks like the place.
How about this?
Quack. I don't know.
Duck a la orange. Okay, what about this?
A Dutch mat, all right. But they seem larger than the Duchess and her lot. Perhaps I should add a tiny bit more of my mushrooms. Let's see. The left hand is for larger, right? Or was it... I'll simply have to try one and see.
Oops, that's too much. A bite from the right. Perfect. I shall fit right in now.
How about this?
Look! I've got it. Don't tell me. Peking duck, right? My turn. Charades! Let's see now. How about if I go like this?
I don't know.
What about this?
I don't know that either.
All in the golden afternoon, in fancy they pursue a dream child moving through a land of wonders wild and new, in friendly chat with bird or beast, and half believe it true. And ever, as the story drained the wells of fancy dry, and faintly strove that weary one to put the subject by, the rest next time. It is next time, the happy voices cry.
Well, I guess this is it.
Appears you've got a visitor. No, wait. This is my house. I didn't invite anyone. Surely I didn't.
Are you sure? Looks rather like Bo Peep. Or is it Bell Peep? Lost your moutons, have you?
Alice, a childish story take, and with a gentle hand lay it where childhood's dreams are twined in memory's mystic band, like pilgrims' withered wreath of flowers, plucked in a far-off land.
Good afternoon.
No room, no room!
None at all.
There's plenty of room.
Have some wine.
I don't see any wine.
There isn't any.
Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited.
I didn't know it was your table.
It isn't. It is.
And it's my chair, too.
The March Hare's chair.
And the Mad Hatter's chatter.
Oh.
A good one.
Besides, the table's set for a great many more than 3.
Well, now we are 4.
And who, might I ask, is he?
The Dormouse?
A bit uncivil of you to ask, don't you think?
It was uncivil of you not to introduce him.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Good. Riddles. We shall have some fun now. I think I can answer that one.
Do you mean that you think you can find out the answer to it?
Exactly so.
Then you should say what you mean.
That's what my sister said, too. I do. At least I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know.
Not the same thing a bit. Or you might just as well say that I see what I eat is the same as I eat what I see.
You might just as well say that I breathe while I sleep is the same as I sleep while I breathe.
It is the same thing with you. What day of the month is it?
The 4th.
2 days wrong. I told you butter wouldn't suit the works.
It was the best butter.
Dunk your watch, do you?
Yes, but some crumbs must have gotten in as well.
You shouldn't have put it in with the bread knife.
It was the best of butter.
What a funny watch. It tells the day of the month, and yet it doesn't tell what o'clock it is.
Why should it? Have you guessed the riddle yet?
No. I give up. What's the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Nor I.
I think you might do something better with the time than wasting it asking riddles that have no answer. The dormouse is asleep again.
Right you are. 6 o'clock, time for a spot of tea.
Oh, of course. Precisely what I was going to say.
Is that the way you tell time, then?
I don't tell him a thing anymore. We quarreled last March, just before he went mad. It was at the great concert given by the Queen of Hearts, and I had to sing, "Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder where you're at. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat."
Twinkle, 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 twinkle.
That's not how it goes.
You know the song, then?
I've heard something like it.
Well, I'd hardly finished the first verse when the Queen bawled out, "He's murdering the time, off with his head."
How dreadfully savage.
And ever since that, he won't do a thing I ask. It's always 6 o'clock now.
Is that the reason so many tea things are put out here?
Yes, it is. It's always tea time, and we have no time to watch the things between whiles.
So you simply move around the table from place to place?
Right, exactly so. Suppose we change the subject. I'm tired of this one. I vote Bo Peep here tells us a story.
My name is Alice, and I'm afraid I don't know one.
Then the dormouse shall.
Come on, wake him up.
Huh? What?
Tell us a story.
Yes, please do.
And be quick about it, or you'll be asleep again before it's done.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters, and their names were Elsie, Lacey, and Tilly, and they lived at the bottom of a well.
What did they live on?
They lived on treacle. All day long,
They couldn't have. They'd have been ill.
Let him tell the story.
But it doesn't make any sense.
Treacle. They drew it from the well.
But I thought they lived in the well.
They did, well in.
But
they were quite talented and could draw all manner of things. Mousetraps and the moon and memory and muchness.
Muchness?
Yes, like when you say something is much of a muchness. Did you ever see such a thing as a drawing of a muchness?
Why, no, of course not.
Then you shouldn't talk.
There you go being rude again. I'll not stand for it.
But you just did, didn't you?
You really ought to say what you mean.
I stood up because I am leaving, but...
Stands to reason. Dunk your mouse, do you? There.
What fun we're having now!
The stupidest tea party I've ever been to. I'll never go there again. I don't imagine they would ever tell me how to find that lovely garden I saw, even if they knew, which I sincerely doubt. Oh, a door. I'm sure it wasn't there a moment ago. Isn't that curious? It's the hall I was in at the very start. But then everything seems curious today. And there is the little door. The mushroom on the right, please, miss. Not too much. There. Thank you, Mr. Caterpillar. But I'm sure these roses were white. Oh, look. Someone has painted them red.
Look out, Five. You're getting paint on me.
Hey, I couldn't help it. 7 bumped my arm.
That's right, Five. Always lay the blame on others.
Oh, well, besides, you could use a spot or 2.
For 3, then I could take your place.
Over my dead body.
Why, they are just big playing cards.
Better not talk, Five. I heard the Queen say she thought of having you beheaded.
What for?
For bringing tulip roots to the cook instead of potatoes.
Ooh. What?
Shh. Would you tell me, please, why are you painting those roses?
Why, miss, the fact is, this ought to have been a red rose tree. Only we put in a white one by mistake.
Yeah, if the Queen was to find out, we'd all have our heads cut off.
And perhaps yours as well.
Mine?
The Queen!
The King and Queen of Hearts.
Why, it's the White Rabbit.
Praise to Her Majesty, the Queen of Hearts.
Yes, Mom. I'll find you the your most obedience.
Who is this?
My name is Alice, so please, Your Majesty.
And who are these?
How should I know? It's your garden.
Off with her head!
Remember, my dear, she's only a child.
Very well. Can you play croquet?
Yes.
Come along, then. On!
It's a very fine day.
Very. Oh, Mr. Rabbit, it is you. I see you found a pair of gloves, all right.
Hush, or she'll hear you.
But she's only Queen of Hearts.
And Marchioness of Bob Turtles.
Stop! Now!
Procession, halt!
What are they?
Players, take your marks.
They are in the soup.
Raise mallets.
Mallet.
Begin.
You ever seen a mallet that's short in your hands?
I'm first!
Play is immediately extremely intense, with Her Majesty taking a surprising early lead. The Regulation Live Ostrich Neck Croquet Mallet responding superbly to her every command.
But they're all playing at once.
Meanwhile, the King has encountered a serious problem. The purebred lop-eared hedgehog he has been using all season seems to be refusing to remain rolled in a ball.
Out of my way, you idiot! Off with his head!
Remember, my dear, I'm your husband.
Such a disappointment, too. Very well, then. Carry on.
The pack comes around the far wicket, and it is Her Majesty in the lead, followed closely by Alice, who is having a little trouble controlling her ostrich, and by the Knave of Hearts, followed closely by, it appears to be, the head of a cat, ladies and gentlemen, a very large Cheshire cat, a large smiling face.
We meet again, eh, little one?
Floating over the field.
Yes, but where's the Duchess?
She's in this blockhead's jail, then, isn't she?
That's rather impertinent of you. Even if you are a cat. Off with its head.
No, you can't. He's my friend.
Stop the game. At once.
Players, retire.
Besides, my dear, its head is already off.
And it's the only creature here with any sense.
How can you say that? You haven't even met the mock turtle.
The mock turtle? I'd rather meet someone real.
Griffin!
You are all pardoned.
Oh, right here, so please, Your Majesty.
Up, lazy thing, and conduct our young ward to the glebe.
Ward?
So be it. This way, please. Oh, what fun. He hasn't got no sorrow, really. It's all fancy.
But surely he has a tale to tell.
This here young lady wants to know your history, she do.
I'll tell it. But you must sit down, and don't speak till I'm done. Once I was a real turtle.
Is that it?
When we were little, we went to school in the sea. The master was an old turtle. We called him Tortoise.
Why did you call him that unless he was one?
We called him Tortoise because he taught us.
Oh, she really is a bit dull, isn't she?
She may have never lived under the sea.
No, I haven't.
And perhaps you were never introduced to a lobster.
I once tasted... No, never.
So you can have no idea what a delightful thing a lobster quadrille is.
No, indeed, I don't. What sort of thing is it?
Well, if this griffin will help me, perhaps we can...
Why, certainly. First you form a line along the seashore.
2 lines. Seals, turtles, fish, and so on. Advance twice.
Each with a lobster as a partner?
Of course. Advance twice. Set to partners.
Change lobsters and retire in the same order.
Then, you know, you throw the...
Throw the lobsters?
As far out to sea as you can.
Then swim after them.
It's a very pretty dance.
But that wasn't it. One must also sing.
Oh, yes, sing. But I can never remember the words.
Beneath the waters of the sea, a lobster thick as they can be. They love to dance with you and me, my own, my gentle salmon. Salmon come up, salmon go down, salmon come twist your tail around. Of all the fishes of the sea, there's none so good as salmon.
Or something like that, anyway.
Thank you.
Would you like to see the second figure, or perhaps the
Do you
third?
know any more songs?
Certainly.
No accounting for tastes.
How about mock turtle soup?
Oh, sing it.
Beautiful soup, so rich and green, waiting in a hot tureen. Who for such dainties would not stoop? Beautiful soup, beautiful soup, soup of the evening, beautiful soup, soup, soup.
soup, soup of the evening, soup.
Chorus again.
Beautiful soup, so rich and green, waiting in a hot tureen. Who would not stoop for soup, green soup, beautiful soup, beautiful soup. So give me a rich and hot and green soup of soup.
The jury will rise.
Oh, the trial's beginning.
Trial? What trial is that?
Oh, come on.
Do we get the refreshments before or after?
The refreshments? What do you mean, dear?
Why, all those tarts, of course.
Ahem.
Shush. The king's got a funny white wig. He must be the judge.
Oh, right you are. And those are the jurors there. But the queen's the one to watch out for.
Silence in the court! Herald, read the accusation.
The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts, all on a summer day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts and took them quite a way.
Jurors, the evidence is before you. Consider your verdict.
Not yet. There's a great deal to come before that.
Oh, very well. Call the first witness.
Will the Hatter please step forward?
Beg pardon, Your Honor. I haven't finished my tea.
You should have. Speak up or I'll have you executed.
No, I'm a poor man, Your Majesty, and I hadn't begun my tea, not above a week or so, and what with the bread and butter getting so thin, and the twinkling of the tea...
The twinkling of what?
It began with the tea.
Of course twinkling begins with a T. What do you take us for, idiots? Go on.
I'm a poor man, Your Majesty. Only the March Hare said...
He didn't.
You did.
I deny it. He denies it. Leave that part out. Continue.
I'm a poor man, Your Majesty.
You're a very poor speaker.
I'm afraid that's all I remember of it.
Order! Order! You may stand down.
Thank you, Your Majesty. But I'm on the floor as it is.
Then you may sit down. Next witness.
Call Her Eminence the Duchess's cook.
Give your evidence.
I shan't.
What?
My dear, I do believe...
Oh, get on with it then.
Well, if I must, I must. What are tarts made of?
Pepper, mostly.
Treacle!
Call that dormouse. Off with his whiskers.
Well, it won't be long now.
But they haven't got any evidence yet.
Order!
I'm afraid he got away, Your Majesties.
Got away? What is this bumbling?
Never mind. Herald, call the next witness.
Call Alice to the stand.
Here. Oh, I beg your pardon. I didn't mean to.
Order! Order! The witness will try not to be so clumsy.
I appear to be growing again.
Growing? Well, the trial cannot proceed until all the jurymen are back in their proper places. Oh!
I'm so sorry.
Now then, what do you know about this business?
Nothing whatever.
That's very important.
Unimportant, Your Majesty means, of course.
Unimportant, of course. I meant unimportant. I meant important. I meant unimportant.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
Silence! Rule 42. All persons more than a mile high have to leave the court.
I'm not a mile high.
You are?
Nearly 2 miles high.
Well, I shan't go away anyway. Besides, you just made that rule up.
It's the oldest rule in the book.
Then it ought to be number 1.
Jurors, consider your verdict.
There's more evidence. This paper was just found.
What's in it?
It appears to be a poem written by the prisoner.
They told me you had been to her and mentioned me to him. She gave me a good character, but said I could not swim.
Please, Your Majesty, I didn't write that.
Silence! Continue, Rabbit.
On with it,
I
then.
gave her one, they gave him two. You gave us three or more. They all returned from him to you, though they were mine before.
This is the most important piece of evidence we've had yet.
But I didn't write it.
He must have imitated someone else's hand.
And it isn't signed.
If you didn't sign it, that's a sure sign that you meant some mischief by it. If not, you would have signed it, like an honest man.
Please, Your Majesty, I'm a jack of hearts, but I do have a good character.
See there? Just like in the verses.
It also says I could not swim. You can't swim, can you?
I'm made of cardboard, much like yourself, sire.
I gave her one, they gave him two. That must be the tarts.
But it goes on to say they all returned from him to you. And there they are. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Nothing can be clearer than that. Let the jury consider its verdict.
No. Sentence first, verdict afterwards.
Stuff and nonsense.
Hold your tongue.
I won't. We must hear the verdict first. Only then can we...
Off with her head!
Who cares about you anyway? You're nothing but a pack of cards. Oh, go away.
My tale is a long and a very sad one indeed.
Oh, dear, how puzzling it all is.
Speak roughly to your little boy and beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy.
One side will make you grow taller and the other shorter.
One side of what?
Of the mushroom.
It sounds like that rabbit again.
Fetch me my gloves and fan this bit.
I can't. I'm stuck. And I simply must get into that garden. Huh?
Wake up, Alice, dear.
What? Where am I?
Why, you're with us, of course. You've been sleeping.
Oh, I had such a curious dream.
You must tell it to us then. Please, you must.
Well, first there was a rabbit, see? A white rabbit. Only it wasn't an ordinary one. He had a pocket watch and a dinner jacket, and he didn't live in an ordinary rabbit hole.
Thus grew the tale of Wonderland. Thus slowly, one by one, its quaint events were hammered out. And now the tale is done. And home we steer, a merry crew, beneath the setting sun.
But can I never go back?
Go back? Where?
But...
Alice, a childish story take, and with a gentle hand lay it where childhood's dreams are twined in memory's mystic band, like pilgrims with a wreath of flowers, plucked in a far-off land.
That Alice sat on, of course, for a time, with half-closed eyes, and half believed herself in Wonderland again. The long grass rustled at her feet as the white rabbit hurried by, and she thought she could hear the rattle of teacups as the March Hare and his friends shared their never-ending meal, and the distant sobs of the Mock Turtle. She did go back, once, of course. You know all about that. After a time, when only the memory of that place remained, the woman Alice became kept the innocent, loving heart of her childhood. In those years, she would gather about her other little children and make their eyes bright with many a strange tale, perhaps even with the dream of that same Wonderland of long ago, and find pleasure in their simple joys, remembering her own child life and the happy summer days.